What is up, guys? It's CappingTV coming at you live for some LAN Downunder 2024 action. Tonight marks our inaugural match of the LAN Downunder 2024. Kicking off the competition is Salt Free Gaming taking on slayworld. I'm your host, BigFellaGoose, and joining me on the cast is Wandom. Also got Ghost to dish up those analytics for us, and of course, last but not least on production, we've got the wonderful Mitch Cliff. So, Wandom and Ghost, what's been up with you guys? How are we feeling about this upcoming match?
Pretty good. I think we have a good match on our hands. Obviously, coming this year with the LAN Downunder, we are going into a new format, and I believe, Wandom, this is your first, I guess, LAN Downunder casting experience, whether it be, obviously, this time qualifiers, obviously, unfortunately, not at the actual venue. But yeah, should be exciting.
It should be good, yeah. I've, you dabble over the course of the years. I've dabbled a little bit some Australian casting, kind of, when it fits. Obviously, right now it's 11 a.m. for me, so it's a bit. Sometimes you're able to cast, sometimes you're not. But I find myself to be a big fan of Australian TF2. You guys are a little bit more. I'd say DM focused than we are up here in Europe, and it's good fun to watch. I'm
Awesome.
excited for this. Some players I haven't seen in a while, some new names as well. Be a good game.
So I think on the topic of LAN, and since we're now going to a qualifier stage, I think we will run through the format explainer. So people have seen the graphics. I think they've been posted on OzFortress, posted everywhere. So quick rundown with how there's a video. Okay, never mind. We're going to throw it to a video. So we'll quickly go through that then. I thought we were going to explain it by word.
Get ready for our biggest event of the year. This July, the LAN Downunder returns bigger and better, now taking place at the state-of-the-art Alienware Arena at Fortress Melbourne. This year, we're introducing a brand new format. Here's everything you need to know. LAN Downunder 2024 will include 8 teams from around the region, facing off in a 2-day fiesta that will crown the true TF2 champion. The first and second place team from LAN Downunder 2023 are automatically invited to the LAN finals. To find out, other 6 teams, an online qualifier will be hosted to determine who will face them off in the arena. It will be a double elimination format running May 17th and 18th on ozfortress.com. The top 6 teams will join the other invited teams in the group stage in July. The group stage will be a round-robin format with each team playing each other once to determine our top 4 teams. In day 2, those 4 teams will make their way through a best-of-3 single elimination bracket. No second chances, no breathing room, just one shot to make it to the best-of-5 grand final to determine the champion of the LAN Downunder 2024. You can watch all of the action right here on CappingTV, and be sure to head to lan.cappingtv.com for all the information.
Obviously, hopefully everyone understood the little format explainer. There is, I guess, the graphic which is posted on OzFortress. Everyone can look at that. It is a little bit more clearer. In a nutshell, pretty much whoever wins the upper finals does qualify, and then obviously refer to the other one for the Saturday, where some teams you lose today, you still have a chance to qualify on Saturday. However, with regards to teams, tonight will be slayworld taking on the side of Salt 3 in the upper bracket semi-finals. So I will run through slayworld, and then I'll get you to run through Salt 3 Wandom. So, on the side of slayworld, we have Monty as Combo Scout, Fraggerun Flank Scout, Yon's Pocket, Roma Ben, Emo Fluoro, and the medic will be Shady for the first map. However, Yunso, or Billy, which we'll refer to as probably during the cast, it is easier to say, will be murking for Shady on the second map. So a little bit of a roster switch there just for the medic. I don't think it'll be too much of a change, so it should be alright. And then to the side of Salt 3, Wan, if you want to go for it.
Sure, yeah, we've got some older names who have been around for a little bit of a while. We've got Wigan and Skaz taking the flank and combo scout positions respectively. Then on Roma, we got Brady, Pocket is Desi, Demo, Catfish, and then Snazzy on Medic. Some older names, some names that even me, a poor European, will recognize. And yeah, Ghost. Yeah. If you're looking at these rosters, take me through who are the players to watch for these teams.
I mean, look, for these rosters here, I think for the side of slayworld, you're going to have to look at especially their scouts. I think Monty and Fragron, their DM is really, really good on scouts, and most of these players have just recently come off, specifically Fragger, Ben, and Shady. All have just recently come off the season 39 into first place victory. They won that season, I would say, it was convincing, but occasionally there were a few tight games, few situations where they were contested. However, a win is a win, and it was a pretty good season overall for them with a few roster changes on their actual roster. And then Yons and Fluoro came off a top 5 finish at high. So this roster, I think, has I'll be honest, is probably the favorites coming into this game. And I do see that if they show up and hit their shots, then Salt Free might be in for a bad time. But the players to definitely watch, I think, are Monty and Fragger, and even their soldiers being Yons and Ben combo. Curious to see what happens. Then on the side of Salt 3, I feel like I don't think there's actually one player to watch specifically on the side of Salt 3, sorry. I think if you want to watch Catfish Demo, I think is really really good to watch. He's very experienced, and his demo is actually pretty solid. I personally haven't seen it. I've heard actually some really positive things about it. Otherwise, probably I think they're Roma and Pocket, Brady and Daisy, especially Brady on Roma. I know he can off-class and snipe as well, and then the same goes for the side of, Slaywell being Fragger Run, and Monty, if they choose to. Probably specifically Fragger I'd watch in the off-class sort of department there. But obviously, with a slight roster change obviously coming in for that second map, might be interesting, and potentially third map if we do get to it, for the side of Slay World. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add, Wan, at all?
I would, just on the note of, Salt Free, like Catfish, like I can attest to like the fact that he is like an amazing demo. He'll probably like tell you he's a bit washed and like, I don't really like have the chops anymore. But no, like I remember like at my first LAN, like back in 2019, Catfish rocked up and just like subbed in on one of the rosters, and he completely destroyed us on demo. So yeah, that's definitely a player I'm going to be looking out for tonight. I'm always biased towards the demos. Demo's like my favorite class. But Catfish on demo, that should be good. And Salt Free, they've the core of this roster, they've been together for like such a long time now. So I'm really keen to see like how they coordinate their bombs on this Snake Water mid as well, particularly because it's like a very front-on kind of like head-to-head map. Like,
I mean, I think Soulfree, they've been a lot, like they've been together for a while, but the question is how often do they really touch the game and like practice of the game? Because I know for the side of Slayworld, these guys are playing the game, I'd say consistently, pretty often. But the question is, if they don't show up, then Soulfree definitely do have the chance of taking this game. However, speaking of maps and so forth, we do have the veto all done, which quickly run through now. So with the map pool here, the only difference from this compared to season 39 is that we have ProLands back in taking out one of the COF maps, which I believe is Clear Cut. So that's the only slight difference. So we just got CP map back in and 2 COF maps. Otherwise, bands-wise, so the side of Slayworld took out Granary first. Salt Free taking out Bagel. And then Slayworld picking Snakewater, which again, I think is a good pick to start off. Very, everyone's played the map, and it's a good sort of like warm-up map even, just to get things going, and it's a good map to sort of like build momentum from. Following on, Salt Free does go for the Reckoner pick, which is not a map played too frequently. However, I feel like for the side of Slayworld, they don't really mind. I feel like they're definitely quite comfortable on Reckoner, especially their soldiers, Ben and Yons. So we'll keen to see what happens. And then the question here, which actually got left, and which I'm surprised that slayworld didn't actually ban first, is Pro Lands. So being floated to the second phase, so it could have been picked in that first phase. If it was picked, it would be different because the side of slayworld, some of them have played it, but I don't know if Fragger. To be honest, I'm not too sure if Fragger, Yons, or Ben actually really played the map. But otherwise, yeah. And then following that, Gully Wash banned by Salt Free, and then Sunshine picked by Slayworld. So I think these are some solid maps to start off. But yeah, keen to see what happens.
Ghost, you have about 40 seconds here to tell us who do you think's going to take this. How many maps are we seeing tonight?
Look,
what are we favoring?
I mean, look, I will probably have to say, look, Slayworld will most likely take this, and I think are definitely coming as favorites. Look, I'm gonna say 2-0 to side off Slayworld. Over the maps, look, I'm going for probably 4-2, 4-2 for both maps. So I think it will be close in certain rounds, but I don't know. Honestly, it's not saying Salt Free's terrible, but I don't see them potentially taking many rounds. So keen to see what happens, but look, who knows? Anyway.
Alright, sweet. And it looks like everything is ready to go, and we are live with the LAN Downunder 2024 online qualifiers. This is Salt Free Gaming versus Slayworld. Who are you going to be watching on this mid, Blandon?
I'm going to be watching Catfish, it looks like, here, going into it. You guys were hyping him up a little bit, calling him kind of good. We're on the middle already. He's down to 90 HP. He's taking a little bit of spam. Sitting nice at the moment, relaxing. Neither team really juggling the high ground. Right now, it's an instant bomb in onto the enemy demo there. But it is just that demo just barely taken down. Snazzy in the meantime, however, falls to a bomb. And this means the mid for Slayworld. It's gone chaos because everyone's basically dead all over the place. Monty, only one alive on the side of Slayworld with Salt Free. They just have to take down this one player. Monty, though, destroys Skaz in the 1v1.
Yeah, and Monty's just going to be sort of, you know, scoping something out down in lower here. Looks like he might want to take the fight on the catchers, but he's knocked down to 13 HP, so he's going to have to back out. But yeah, talk about a convincing mid, man. That was, yeah, it just went. That was very, very good on the side of Salt Free. And now both medics did live, and looks like Slayworld are looking to re-enter here. Monty will pick up Wigan. They're just going to be progressing through. He's onto Catfish now as well, and he's going to be picking him up as well. So already Monty with 4 kills. Oh no, 5, sorry. He's on a 5 kill streak now, and Slayworld just took that right back from him.
That was such a good re-entry as well. You can see getting those opening kills, walking in through kitchen, and then the kill onto the demoman as well, onto Catfish. That means there's just no presence for them to lock down middle anymore whatsoever. Snazzy did live. He's still on around 70%. They should be able to build this in time for last. And Slayworld, they are peeking, getting into lobby, but 80% now on this medic. I'd be surprised. Slayworld, there is a world where Europe, I don't know if terminology carries over, call it bidding it, and just send it all the way into last. Shouldn't happen. Now Snazzy on 99, 100% Uber. And so Salt Free, they do lose mid, but they manage to get the Uber up. They're not losing their yard. They'll last just fine. Instead,
corrupt gentlemen, just make a note. Illy's playing looks like for both maps potentially.
Okay. You know, I'll keep the roster shake up in mind. It's hard because my casting essentials are kind of cooked at the moment, but looks like Slayworld are gonna not really opting for any off classes quite yet. I want to see if they're going to send Tourism in here to try and get a pick, but Brady will pick up Fragger Run, so maybe the off class will come from that. And Scout's actually into the lobby here. It's just going to back right out. And, yeah, looking like a little reset.
this is now I get worried, right? All I know as a dirty European is that you guys had a guy called Sheep who's really good, and then recently you guys got another guy called Sheep who's also really good on sniper. You can see actually Fragger not spawning on the sniper. I'm a bit surprised not letting go for an off class there of any sort. Maybe even like, okay, you could sniper onto Snakewater last. I personally don't like it too much because you usually never find much else besides Aroma. Kind of lean more towards a spy, but there are no off classes. There's no engineer on last. What's happening? Yeah,
this is looking pretty cookie cutter TF2 right now. Some real old school stuff going on. I think Slayworld's trying to step back outside lobby, maybe try bait Salt Free into, you know, get a bit greedy, see if I can get a pick, but Oh no, it looks like Young's kind of going into something. He has, you know, hops in, doesn't get a whole lot of height. He's onto the medic, but Catfish will be obliterating him in the middle of the air, and that prompted Fraggerun to also come through and try and clean up on the back of his damage, but nothing really amounted from that. With 2 down on the side of slayworld, Salt-Free are going to be able to push in and onto the medic, and they get the force out. So that is not ideal. They're kind of in limbo right here. They go, oh, but Snazzy drops.
Such a disastrous push now for Salt-Free. They managed to go in and get the force. It's really nice, but then they have to run out. Now, Spawners come right back up. The 2 players sacking in. They're back up alive with their team. Now, Medic down. Catfish still up, but he's stuck in Spawn. There's just stickies on the point. That's a round on the board for slayworld, capitalizing off of Snazzy. A little bit too far forward. Doesn't quite get the Uber pop-up. A round on the board now.
What a response, Wandon. Like, that was, you know, they got forced and they just thought, like, I guess that's the correct way to play when you just get forced. You just got to go right in and try and amount it to literally anything. And they did it perfectly. If Snazzy hadn't dropped there, it might have been a different story, but, you know, the odds just went in their favor. Fluoro now getting a little bit aggressive. The Soldier is going to be onto him, and Desi picks up Fluoro early on in the fight. Someone gets an arrow off onto him as well, so he's going to be falling to that. It's currently a 3 versus 3 or 3 versus 2 right now. You've got the combo left, and Salt-Free will convincingly take this mid.
That's a super early kill on to the demo on the side of slayworld. Losing that demo immediately means that you just don't have position, don't have any damage, and it allows Salt-Free Gaming to just run straight over the point, pick up the remaining players. Medic not really with anyone either on the side of slayworld, and that means that he's such a free kill. Now Snazzy, giant duper advantage here, walking into second. You're gonna have to be a bit careful. Slayworld now, your main objective is get this Uber out immediately. You'd see this time for them, slayworld electing to build that sentry gun on at last. This gun is so hard to take down. And we're gonna have to see now Salt-Free Gaming. They get second for free as well. They should just be able to roll right forwards. They're electing to go through lower. The Uber should come in any second now.
Yeah, with a 50% advantage, it looks like the Uber is just about to go out, and we are live with the Uber. Sentry is down. Catfish picking that off immediately. They're already onto the point, and they just boxed into a spawn. And man, Salt-Free with a very great response to that early loss, the unfortunate loss of Snazzy losing the Uber there, but they recovered so well.
Such a nice response as well. Getting that medic kill towards the end of the mid-fight means they have such a big advantage. And able just to push up, it's so effective. The sentry gun is nice, but it requires time to set up, and if you just push instantly as they did on Salt-Free Gaming, it doesn't have time to properly set up. Now, back on mid, it's 1-1, and this is Snakewater. What can happen here? This could be some very slow rounds if you want them to be so. This time around, both soldiers on the side of Salt-Free, they're bombing in once again, and they're just finding a medic frag instantly. This means there's no health for slayworld to play anymore. They're stuffed into a corner, but now, in return, soldier counterbombs come in. They're actually finding a lot of frags here. Snazzy down to 30 HP, last one on his team to fall. But that is a medic down on both sides. Gonna have to see. There's red soldiers already walking in onto second, taking this cap. And that is slayworld deciding, commanding victory there on mid.
Yeah, you know, and again, it seems so back and forth. Like, what one team is like, both teams are having like a really hard time just establishing any sort of like continuance in the momentum. You know, like what one team will like lose a round and then another team's getting. I know it's still early, but that's kind of the seems to be a bit of a trend so far in this game of Snakewater, kicking off this series. You know, Slayworld, they are onto well on their way to second now, and they've just capped. So they're going to have to make their way into lobby. They do have a slight ad, like a very, very slight ad. So, but I'm not sure if they're aware of it. Yeah, it looks like they aren't aware of it. So it's probably going to be an even Uber fight. And we'll see what we saw before with the, you know, bit of a sack wave coming through.
This time, Sentry Gun is up for Skaz. I will say, pushing off a 10 ad into Snakewater last is a bit psychotic. Not really sure I'd vouch for that too much. You can see actually immediately kill onto Skaz. That's the engineer down. Medic, be careful, because Desi's right around that corner with the sniper watching him. This sniper now aiming to find an opening kill here. Get something for Salt-Free Gaming to be able to push off of. They've lost that engineer already. You can see the demo shooting right behind this wall here. Can Desi. There we go. Soldier only peeks, doesn't take the shot. We're just sitting. Now, Sentry Gun still alive. Skaz back up, and we're going for the Mookie special teleporter kill. Never mind. We hate fun.
We got a bit of a I think Desi got a body shot off there, but we got Fluoro quite low. Yon's going to try going for something, but he's already down quite low. And yeah, Catfish again, just covering the vertical axis with those beautiful Iron Bomber pipes. Yeah, he pulls through when you need it. 2 soldiers down on the side of Slayworld, so I guess that will ignite a little push from Salt Free. Fluoro's going to be picking up Wigan in the midst of it all, and Desi's quite low as well, so they're not in a super great position here, Wandon, but you know they do have a much better Uber as the trade comes out. Catfish is just cleaning everything up right now, but there's everyone's down. Snazzy's heading back to last, and I don't know how to say that. It's going to come down to can Snazzy get the Uber saw, and I think
Snazzy. This is such a weird push out. I think we saw this last round as well. How they Salt Free dropped the first round. There's these post sack waves where they're committing really far into second and just getting caught out in the post Uber, not really getting enough space off of the Uber. They lead in with a demo man, with a soldier, not able to find the positioning, allows the counter Uber come out Slayworld, take the picks on the side and the flank because the rest of the team wants to go forwards, and then it's just 3 down. Yes, they lose their medic and demo pretty immediately, but the rest of the team can come and clean up, and that's another round for Slayworld. Now we're back on mid. The aggression onto top here as well. Already spam being created. Soldiers holding off a little bit more this time, not going in immediately.
Yeah, everything was happening so fast last round. I couldn't quite keep up with everything, but Soldier's in now on the Snazzy, and he's going to be taken down. Brady's really low up on the high ground. He'll fall the fragger run. Wigan doing a good job, a commendable job of protecting his team here. It's pretty even fight. Salt Free both have, they still have both scouts, but the player ad is not in their favor. When the early Uber's actually coming out right now, and they've got to get onto that medic straight away, otherwise
97.
And he does get onto it. So you know it wasn't a complete disaster for Salt Free.
Really nice heads-up play by Skaz there, recognizing that there's no sparkles on that red medigun. He can't pop it if he doesn't have it. Now instead, the soldier bomb comes straight in from Slayworld and absolutely destroys Salt Free there in Source. Such a beautiful play by Skaz, and unfortunately not followed up by the rest of his team as they lose everyone successfully. And suddenly Slayworld, we're right back in this. They've already got second capture. Demoman's still up. I mean, you don't have a medic with you, but like, you know, you can get a little bit cheeky. You can,
the medic's already building. They've got like a solid 30 ad here. You know, if they're counting their Ubers correctly, like that is, I think that's more than enough to get in. If they go as soon as the Uber's ready, then they could probably, they could have a good last. But I think, you know, not to get too conjectural here, I still think they're probably going to try and maybe play the picks, because you can kind of kite your medic into spawn and go around. And yeah, but no, actually, I was completely wrong. They are straight into last, and the kite happens. They're going to be switching sides. The sentry is still up, or if there was a sentry, not sure. Yeah, there's a bit of cap time on the point. The players are falling for Salt Free. They didn't manage to get their Uber out, and another round goes to Slayworld there. I can't keep up, Wandon.
Getting early kills onto the side of Salt Free allows Slayworld to really come in. They're really just pushing off of the 30 ad, which, I mean, there's a world where you can kite it. Fortunately, Heavy goes down quite early on, and that means that the rest of the team doesn't have sort of the blocking anymore. You really, when you're trying to kite out an Uber like that, you're relying on the Heavy, keep the enemies away with the minigun. Instead, he falls, and that allows Slayworld to just come in. Now they're up 3-1 here. Still 17 minutes. Time for Salt Free, but they have to start it off with a really successful middle here. And they're finding the early kill onto the blue demo here as well. It is now Red Medic pulling so low for the side of Slayworld. They lose him as well. Now Soldier trying to get him to Snazzy, the pickaxe at the end. The sacrificial play. Awesome Source. The meat shot Smiley. So just back on second. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Yeah. This is what happens when you don't have a nickname rule. Or maybe you do. But maybe the players don't care. And now I'm stuck. And there are players on my screen. And I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, well, I'm suffering the same fate as you, Wendy. So I got my casting essentials are they're pretty they're pretty cracked out right now. But, you know, in saying that, Salt Free are trying to edge their way into this second point. They lost 3 in the process and now a 4th. So it's just Snazzy and Desi up. And they're at a pretty significant disad as well. So they're going to need to retreat and get right back to their last, because they want to prevent the loss of another round. They need to make sure that he survives the next push.
slayworld are playing with the sniper right now offensively, so trying to go in. They have a big advantage, but now with the sniper up, right, you're kind of down a player almost. They do compensate for it. Wigan goes down pretty much immediately, and that allows slayworld now, they're going to opt to go through grass, right? You have this sniper, you want to play off the sightlines that he does have. I'm really wondering, the pressure, it's so much slower now, right? Because you have the sniper, you can't go in as aggressively. The damage comes through, Scaz. Everyone goes down from both sides, but they get the kill onto the medic. Medic doesn't quite get the Uber. Now Snazzy, 100%, and you're running right away. You do not want to be in that sniper sightline any more than you have to. Keep the medic alive, have the 100% Uber advantage, and this surely just have to deal with the scout on the point. Monty almost snatches the round from underneath the side of Salt Free there.
Well, Yons is going in for something kind of aggressive here. He didn't really... I think he wanted to prioritize the point instead of going for a hero shot onto Snazzy, which I can respect. Slightly questionable, not saying I could have done any better, but yeah, I'm just surprised he didn't go for like a hero shot. Now, with slayworld kind of, you know, throwing that away, they're going to be back to their mid at a 60% disad. And Salt Free need to kind of make sure that they don't just, you know, not get too stalemated, but also not play the game too fast, because they don't want to lose any more rounds at this stage. There's 14 minutes left, still a lot of time, but, you know, they need to make sure that they don't drop any more rounds.
They're coming into mid, but slayworld have successfully slowed down enough. And that's just a bomb in from Ben, getting a force on to Snazzy there, and this is huge for slayworld now, right? This is kind of what you don't want to see. Salt Free pop the Uber out, they don't get anything from it, and that allows slayworld now capitalize. They've got an Uber on their own, they managed to kite it for a long, and they're starting up the push with a kill into Catfish. Now, Soldier tries going from behind, but it's Skaz taken down immediately. Still Soldier in so behind here for Salt Free Gaming, and it is Desi trying to bomb forwards and find anything to health bars. slayworld, not completely optimal, but on the side of Salt Free, they're all dead instead. It's 3 down, and that should be slayworld able to keep on pushing. They did not pop the Uber charge, they can keep going and still add.
So it looks like slayworld has potential to just take this for free, and that they will take their second for free right now. That they will need to do go for a pick. Snazzy's about to get his Uber, but they're already picking in Tusum, and you got your Tagger getting quite aggressive. He eats a rocket, he's not going to go in. But again, they really don't like these picks, Wandom. They're just going straight for the trades right now, and they want to battle it out. I respect it. I like the fast flow thing. Fluoro's going to take down Brady, and you know, there's sort of some kills going back and forth. Fluoro's going to pick up Snazzy as well, so the medic is down, and there's a lot of cap time, and it looks like, man, slayworld just picking up another one on the scoreboard, 4-1. Quite convincing.
These trades are something you do if you feel like you have kind of better mechanics than your opponent, right? If you feel like in a straight up, like, no frills, fair fight, you will come out on top. You go in, you take the trade, Uber fades, and both teams are kind of staring at each other right in front of each other, and that means that you kind of banking on your team to have the better synergy and the better sort of fighting, right? And that's exactly what slayworld are capitalizing off, successfully pulling off so many of these even Uber trades, converting them into rounds. Now we're back on mid, and huge soldier bombs are shutting down Salt 3. They don't get to breathe. It's a complete wipe here. slayworld now looking around map point as they take the wipe on the mid. Snazzy dies super late. Will not be healing for a long time. This is a giant advantage for them. You see Fluoro as well, already in on last doing a little bit of spawn camp. Have to be careful, don't get picked off. That's a spy out of Desi. This is okay.
Yeah, I guess that's like the play you have to go for right now. You either got to get a drop on the med, or it's another round on the board. I don't know if they're going to fall for it, because they're already into last round now. The heavy is up, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do too much in this monolithic multi-chain Uber. The Desi does pick up Fluoro though, so it's not a complete loss. and actually kills going in the way of Salt Free. They managed to kind of hold on and live to fight another day.
I was about to mega flame that spy play, because okay, here's the thing. Spy's a super slow play, and you could do it in stalemate, but in a situation like this, where you know you're down, and Uber decided, usually, as we saw at the beginning, slayworld could just go in with Uber, and you're just a spy, and you're just kind of, you know, stuck watching your team lose the game. You don't really have that much damage output yourself, unless the game gives you a free demo kill, teleporting in front of you. Getting that demo kill early on, that means so much less damage for slayworld, and allows the rest of Salt Free to follow up, get the remaining kills, and the Uber doesn't quite work for slayworld. Now instead, we managed to make our way through the pause. We're going to walk right back into second, and this is a big advantage here for Snazzy. 80% already, and slayworld, they're on middle. I don't think they can hold on to this for too long. We see Fluoro now. Its objective is one thing, it's get this Uber out of Snazzy as early as possible.
Yeah, if you know, there's any time for a shift in momentum for Salt Free, it needs to happen now. And the Uber does come out onto the combo scout. He's going to be right aggressive on the floor right now. Fluoro's knocked down to 53 HP, but he's going to just still be able to stay in, joining the medic on bats, and whoa, kind of like a nice little midi onto the onto the scout there, and you're going to be finished off with a body shot. So, you know, slayworld kite another Uber, and they're going to try and roll through onto mid here. Oh, but the scout is on the medic, and he doesn't manage to get him. Wigan will be falling to the SMG. So unfortunate. That would have been huge.
It's actually such an important play for Salt Free, getting that medic kill, because they popped the Uber, only finding 2 kills with it. They're back up now for the side of slayworld. You're getting another kill onto Ben, but you're trading it for that Wigan kill earlier on, and now slayworld, once again, they found themselves an Uber out. It's only 80% right now, but you can look at how close the Salt Free are actually playing. They're backing off to second here, as they should be looking to try and get this Uber up for Snazzy. 10% now remaining for him, be able to have it in time. There's a soldier down as well. slayworld, they're peeking onto second. You're still down a player here, right? The soldier's coming forward. You're trying to play off the sniper, and players are sacking in. They're not finding him. Instead, we've been gifted players. Desi goes in, finds the force onto the medic, but you trade that Uber for 3 picks any day of the week. Now, Fraggerung gets a little bit too aggressive here. Fluoro and Ben falling as well. Suddenly, the tides have turned. The counter Uber comes in, and it's a demo man on it to a medic, unable to find the kill. So far, 12 HP is cleaned up by Scaz. Soldier can bomb in, trying to get the counter pop onto the medic and find Snazzy. All's end, well, that ends well. Monty's still just chilling and sore. That's a lot of players. Surely, you get stuck on a wall, now we're dead.
Yeah, that was that was chaos to the highest degree right there. You know, Snazzy falling at the end, obviously not what you want to see for you know, for on the side of Salt Free, but it looks like the medic, you know, slayworld, they've just kind of spawned, you know, slight like 15%, you know, 10% add. They've, you know, they're still in a very advantageous position having mid right now. You know, Tucson's going to try and, you know, go around on the flank to get, you know, to maybe try get Snazzy in the respawn timer again. And oh, there's a big bomb coming around the full circuit, but didn't really amount to anything. And yeah, looking like another reset.
Yeah, now we're just sitting, we're waiting, as both teams trying. You can see actually Salt Free, they're getting really aggressive with Saw here. Decent damage coming across, and they found the kill into the demo. This allows them to come in. There's no Uber on the red side of slayworld, and now you look at the timer, right, 8 minutes left. You have to play aggressive here as Salt Free, and you're finding 2 kills onto the demo man. But look at the red medic, he's getting the Uber charge, and now slayworld, they should be chilling on a second. You can see the aggression from Salt Free. It can't afford to stop, but instead it's the Uber trade in onto Saw. We might find a singular kill onto the Scout, but no, instead the Uber, it's looking okay for Salt Free. You're in onto second now with the Scout, but where's the follow-up? Where's the rest of the team? The soldier bombing in, and it's slayworld abandoning it, choosing it not to fight. All they have to do is slow down the pace of the game. Don't lose players here. Scout getting aggressive is Fraggerung in Saw. He drops. This is scary. I don't like this fight they're trying to take. So much damage onto Catfish, actually. They're trying to kind of just making it happen. Desi, Scaz both falling, and now slayworld finding 2 kills. They can get in onto the opening. Instead, Wigan trying to take one of his own, 2-shot onto Monty, but he's shut down by Fraggerung as well. Finally now, Salt Free should be looking to back off as that demo man drops so low.
Yeah, if Catfish had picked off the scout at the end there, could have, they could have maybe like re-entered and tried to get a better position, but the forces were just too strong on the side of slayworld. And Salt3, they're back onto their mid. They, 6 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock. They kind of need to make something happen. If it doesn't happen now, then they're not going to be able to build that momentum, to get up 3 rounds. Definitely still possible in the current time frame, especially when you just pick up a scout. But with a trade onto Wigan as well, it's not looking likely. The trade does come out. Uber's out on both sides. This time, slayworld are going to be backing up with Brady. He's sort of positioned on to the point, and both soldiers, very nice positioning on for Salt3. They've managed to pick off slayworld's medic, and Catfish is just locking them out of entering into second right now as well. So if they can keep this fight long enough to, keep them out of second, then they could have maybe taken that, but it just wasn't enough.
Giant wrench of the plans of Salt3 there as Monty just in on second, absolutely styling on Desi, and then getting the follow-up pistol kill to Catfish as well, who's in, but unfortunately his team had to back out. The scout aggression was too much for them to deal with. Now, we're getting really scared, right? 3 rounds in 5 minutes and 30 seconds, getting very difficult here for Salt3. You're not allowed to unbind the W key anymore. You just kind of have to go in the console and just press plus forwards, right?
Yeah.
As a bomb comes in onto the medic, illegally dead, illegally alive, I would say. Honestly, this guy manages just barely to live the soldier bomb now. Instead, it's Fraggerun trying to go in. Another kill onto Wigan, and slayworld are just finding the frags collapse on second. Snazzy 80%. And yes, you can have an Uber. Your whole team is dead. Who are you going to pop on?
Well, I guess they're just forced to take out the trade right now, and Rachel's going to need to pull a rabbit out of his hat. Brady's going to be picking up fluoro as well, so the demo falls. Still, still game here. Still game, 4 minutes, 50 seconds. It is certainly possible, but if they, they've kind of let it reset and they didn't pick up the medic, and now the Uber, slayworld just rolling into last right now, and they're going to be able to slowly pick them off if they play their cards right, but they didn't commit too hard. I don't think they had the numbers with them at that moment. So again, just another kind of partial stalemate, and looks like at the bottom you've got 2 players. Twosom's going to be going on to last to try and make another cap, and he's on to last as well. Almost getting the point, but thankfully Salt3 just holding on.
See now Yons electing to go for the spy play. We do sack in that one soldier. It seems like Salt3 are just looking to try and commit in onto Cheese. The spy's coming in, but the stickies have found 2 already. Both scouts are down for Salt3, and now the spy coming into the point. The point already has a bit of cap time on it. He can just uncloak, sit on this point, capture it up as the soldier bombs in, but it's not enough. And that's slayworld taking map number 1 of Snakewater. 5-1 there. Salt3, signs of life, but unfortunately, commit at the end, just not quite there.
Yeah, look, it started pretty promising. It was anyone's game in the first 5 minutes, but then it was just, as time progressed, it kind of just slowly went in the way of slayworld. Once you build that level of momentum, it's really hard to kind of shift it back in your favor. But there was some promising plays coming out from Salt3, but I just think it was a little bit too improvised, and they kind of didn't capitalize right away on that improvisation. So yeah, what have you got for us, Ghost?
Look, I mean, I forgot to mention during pregame, but obviously I do have the logs up. One thing to note is Monty had a monster of a game, 34 kills, 9 deaths. He was going ham. He was doing things this is why I mentioned earlier in pregame is if these guys are hitting their shots, unfortunately Salt3, you're going to have a bad day. I'll just be honest. The only player on Salt3 that actually showed up, Skaz tried to complete 28 kills, he was playing well, but Wigan unfortunately was absent for majority of that game. But yeah, I don't know. Wigan wasn't really there. He was pretty absent. Skaz was, I feel like Skaz, I'll be honest, was carrying most of the team's sort of weight. But overall, I think very dominant win by the side of slayworld. One thing to note is, even during season, when I played with Ben and Fragger and Monty on our team last season, they were really good at this, like what you guys mentioned in the game, when they push last, take a trade, and then these post-Uber fights or taking these drive fights and just re-entering. They were really good at this, and even during the season, they were really good. So it was definitely something they showed during this game. Overall, I mean, look, very dominant. I think very dominant win by the side of slayworld. But yeah, one thing, yeah, definitely Monty obviously going 34 kills, and also I think Fluoro as well doing really well, 20 kills and also 367 DPM, and he was doing a lot of damage. You can tell, especially during that. I guess also credit to note as well for Ben and Yons. Obviously not having the sort of best game, but definitely creating space and definitely causing sort of like that chaotic, and also going for these like back cap sort of plays. Obviously one thing to note, I feel like sometimes some of their fights were a little bit discoordinated and some of their post-Ubers, but overall I think there was sometimes the sniper off classes were, yes, a bit questionable. I do agree about that. But look, overall, I think a very solid game by the side of slayworld, and yeah, very curious to see what will happen on Rekner. Yeah. I mean,
so on that note, like, do you think there's did you, when you were on Salt Free, did you guys play Reckoner? Like, is this a more kind of favorable map for Salt Free, do you think? Or do you reckon it might be a more like same kind of situation?
I think it's the same kind of thing, because even when I was playing for because season 10 I played with Ben and Ben and all them, Ben, Monty, and Fragger. Reckoner, it was a map they were pretty good at. Like, I feel like it's the same thing where both teams are pretty solid at Reckoner. Like, it's not going to disadvantage anyone. But even on Snakewater, like, despite the scoreline, it was pretty even in regards to mid-fights, where both teams just won 3 mid-fights each. But I guess one thing to note especially is, well, I think sometimes in mid-fight, I think Illy sometimes did get caught out occasionally, but they sort of made up with it again, as I mentioned, for those sort of dry fights. But yeah, moving on to Reckoner now as well, I think, look, I think it will be even, but still, I think, look, we still see, I think I still see slayworld taking this one out. But yeah, I think the key thing to note is I'm curious to see what their soldiers do, Yond and Ben on Reckoner. But yeah, I do see slayworld taking it out on that map. Maybe Salt Free getting 1 round at least, but look, I think after this sort of performance by Monty and everyone else, even Fluoro as well, yeah, slayworld, I think 2-0 is possibly on the cards here.
Yeah, you know, I think with you know, the 5 control point kind of format, like, unless a map is like, well, I guess Reckoner is kind of significantly different to Snakewater. Snakewater is a bit of a black swan in you know, in the pool of control point maps, given like the way it's positioned. But you know, in saying that, like, slayworld established such a strong dominance in the later half of that game that, you know, it's hard to kind of, you know, look at Salt Free coming into this with much of a better result, but you never know. Like, you know, you never say never, of course. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, I mean, look, we'll see what happens on Reckoner. I mean, I'll be honest, yeah, I do see slayworld taking it 2-0, but curious to see what happens. See if Salt Free can bring it to that third map of Sunshine. But I guess the most important thing coming into this map is, I guess, ensuring slayworld sort of post fights are a little bit more cleaner and tidier, and I guess some communication, because I feel like Monty is probably quite vocal in calling for this team, especially on combo. I know during last season when I played with him, he was a late substitution for us for demo, so he didn't call as much, but I know he can main call pretty well on combo scout. So yeah.
Yeah, well, only time will tell, I guess. Yeah, Wandom, do you have any kind of like any of your own thoughts to weigh in on the discussion? Do you think it will be a different turnaround on Reckoner, or do you think we might be seeing a repeated tale?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at this and I'm looking at kind of the mistakes that Salt 3 made in game number 1, where they're kind of getting caught out in the pushes a lot, right? This is what we're seeing in sort of, in a straight up honest fight, we're seeing a lot of the time that it's just slayworld coming out on top. Reckoner is a map where you're really kind of, you can get caught out when you're trying to transitioning between points, and I think in this map as well, like, you have to be so careful if you want to go for, you know, as slayworld are likely to do, is shown that they're more than happy to sack into players, and then, if, you know, salt free, they want to go in and off the counter push off of these 2 frags. They really have to be careful they don't get dropped here on the rack. Pretty heavily slayworld favored, unless we see some big games from some projectile players.
Yeah, so in saying that, we are live with map 2 of the LAN Downunder 2024 inaugural match of the qualifiers right now. This is Slayworld versus Salt Free Gaming. Coming into mid already, you see Fluoro getting an awesome pipe onto Wigan. That was so clean. The bombs do come out on the side of Salt Free, but Scout's doing such a great job at creating that anti-air artillery. And, you know, already, just as we were saying, Slayworld just managing to hold off the sacks from Salt Free so well. And, you know, they're already rolling into second. Fluoro already on last.
Yeah, this is such a big pick from Fluoro as well, starting off the mid great, and then you can send your rest of your team super far in, right? Spawn camping, these are spawn doors on Reckoner are tiny, and it's so much space that you can take. You have to be careful, right? Now, losing a demo man, this snipe coming out on the side of Desi really puts a spanner in the work for the side of Salt Free. Slayworld losing 3, and now this push, absolute disaster. You try to make the bin happen, you try to make it work, but you have to respect the bin. Sometimes the bin's too much, and now Desi, he has a free sniper range right into second, and have to deal with the scout though. It's Fragger just taking the frag instead.
Yes, they held off the kind of the re-aggression there and managed to pick up 2 in the process with the, you know, with the sizable ad right now. They could oh no, sorry, they already used. And, you know, Snazzy's got 10% to go and he doesn't get it up in time. First round already going to Slayworld. Man.
Yeah, that's a really strong start there for Slayworld already, getting the first round really fast commit. They did have a bit of a blunder there going in onto last, trying to commit a bit too far forwards, losing the demo man to the nice sniper from Desi, but then they respond right back in. Nice Uber in lobby, catching out Salt Free once again, trying to push off of a pick advantage on last, and they're just losing the DM fight afterwards. The trade comes in and it's successful. This time around on mid, once again, it's no hold barred. Slayworld come forwards as one, and they take everyone and Salt Free down. It's a singular demo man up, but he's 100 HP, and he's taken down finally, eventually. This is a really late death. You have to be so careful now, Salt Free. There is no holding, like, even lobby anymore. You can see Slayworld, they're already in lobby. They're looking to spam in onto last. Get these soldiers up top right. Spam down a gun, prevent it from ever being built. It's just a heavy up instead. And Slayworld, giant advantage, 100% Uber here for the medic as well, and they're just looking to come right in.
Yeah, there was that immediate collapse on mid just kind of sparked this aggressive push onto last. You know, this just red everywhere, red on the scoreboard, red in the last, and it's red. Man, just everything is going towards Slayworld right now. They're just looking so promising in this second map. You know, on Snakewater, Salt Free was kind of managing to play out the mids a little bit longer, and, you know, it was a little bit back and forth, but so far we've just seen them get completely obliterated immediately. Now, Catfish, I want to see what he can try and do to prevent this. He is on better health right now compared to other mids, and it looks like Salt Free are going to try and slow it down slightly. The Soldier Bomb does come out. Brady's going to be falling early. Wigan's going to be contesting on the left side as well, and they pick up Tourism, so the medic is disconnected from the combo. Only a scout kind of near him. Is very, very low. So Salt Free have the positioning. I'm not sure if they have the numbers though, and it's just a scout up. It's just Snazzy and Rachel versus the world, and they're going to have to fall out unless they go and pop the Uber. But I don't think they can really make much of it, Wandom.
Yeah, this is really scary. This Uber comes out, they have to pop it, and the medic would have just dropped. Instead, now Tiger Run with the punk kill onto Skaz as well. But the Uber, it starts with a mid, right? Salt Free, they try to lock the enemy slayworld out of Toxic, but they're just not able to get all the way forwards, instead allowing the Scout of Fragaron and Monty to stay in, find early kills onto the soldier, and then there's just no positioning anymore for Salt Free, left kind of to the wolves in the sense, not able to find any more frags. Uber has to be popped in a terrible position, and now Salt Free slayworld. It's looking bad for Salt Free, right? They're down another 50% disadvantage here. Sniper up, doesn't find a kill, but is illegally dead, taken down. Floro as well, Skaz finding the frags in the back line. Just Tuism up, trying to make something happen. There's a bit of a weird cap point here on Reckoner last, but they are cleaned up. And that drop onto the medic from Skaz, such a big deal, keeping his team in the round.
Definitely saved, you know, another round from going up, but it also kind of reset the momentum a little bit. Hopefully, if you're Salt Free, this means that you can try and capitalize on that play, but they still don't have the Uber ad nor the positioning, and they're right out of second, also with severe disadvantage on the player numbers. And we've already got slayworld into last. They're just so keen to get in here, Wandom. There's just damage going everywhere. They've got the Phlogistinator coming out, and my God.
All right. That's a bit of disrespect out of Tuism that normally you would never run the Flog, right? No air blast is kind of the entire reason Pyro is good at sixes. Kind of forsaking that for, I believe, less damage as well. Don't remember the Flog stats, I'm gonna be honest, not Pyro main. But it's not the optimal flamethrower to run, right? In sixes, you making it work anyway. For the rest of his team, it's just Floro going in, finding so much damage. This time around on mid though, early on, gets taken down by Catfish, but it's Ben with single rocket for two. Both scouts falling. Fragaron, and in a return as Brady is falling. We're trading players here, but look at the health on the side of Salt Free, forcing the Toxic. Tuism with the bomb through lower, finding the kill, clean up onto Catfish. Another late demo frag means that once again it's slayworld taking control of the midpoint. Wigan already on heavy. There's no second contest at all.
Man, slayworld is so good at just you know, they suffered a bit of an early collapse. They were down the player numbers, but because they set up their positioning on these mids so well, it means that they've got all these lurking players sort of ready to just pick off, you know, the Salt Free combo will be kind of in an unfavorable position, and they just slowly chip away. Like Monty just picked off a soldier there, and then, you know, like slayworld soldiers like came in behind, and it's just kind of too much for them to deal with. They just can't get a foothold on their player ad. Saying that, the Uber does come out. Flura's going to be going in big, but he does die, so that might be, you know, might be enough for Salt Free to hold on. They got the heavy up, and yeah, so they're going to be able to just sort of chip away at the damage and scare them out of losing another round. I think Fluro hit a really nice pipe onto the scout at the end there. Yeah, Fragaron kind of holds in, but they're back in already, Magnum. I don't know what's like. They just want to get the force out, and they managed to do so. Salt Free now just faced with this, you know, dilemma of, oh, do we have to push out and try and like get an advantage and make something of it when we're not ready to do it? They just slayworld is just putting them in these really uncomfortable positions and not allowing them to just take a breath and just relax.
This is really scary, right, for Salt Free now. You've had that Uber forced out of yourself, and it gives Slayworld another ad. Desi back on the sniper is going to have to find something. Once again, really have to be careful pushing in out of Reckoner last here. Once again, it is Slayworld going and finding early damage onto the flank here. We're just on the point. The heavy's not there in time to block. 3 members bump onto it, and that's just a round on the board. Slayworld now a singular map victory, or a singular round victory away from taking this 2-0.
Yeah, it's quite...
Oh, Tuism. Guys, come on.
Yeah, already, yeah, we got the, is it the Phlogistinator again?
No, there's no way. We wouldn't be on the vlog, right? We're also running Sniper Mid on Reckoner, which, I don't know, like... If you see a sightline, please tell me, but we are instantly losing Fluo for it, right? No positioning at all, and I feel like this should just be a slam dunk victory here for Salt Free Gaming. The sniper as well, not able to find anything. They find 1 kill onto Catfish, another one onto Skaz, but that should just be about it. Wigan going to be able to maintain control of that point, and it is Monty going in for the 1v1 versus Wigan. As he gets taken down now, finally, round on the board. Slayworld, I must assume, getting way too overconfident now with the off-classes. Bit of BM.
Yeah, I don't know. They like, I understand it. I get, you know, like, have a bit of fun, but if I was Slayworld up, like, LAN Downunder 2024 qualifiers, you know, the premium tier 1 event in Australia, I wouldn't even be having like a light-hearted joke in, you know, given the situation. But I guess that shows that they're just relaxed and they're playing, you know, they're quite intertwined with each other's plays and they're very comfortable right now, which is good to see. Desi's going to be picking up the medic, so we've actually got 3 down on the side of Slayworld. Everyone's kind of falling, and that is a round for Salt Free. So they're still in it, but the time is not on their side.
There's a decent amount of time, right? 19 minutes. The Flog Pyro hiding in the corner of lower, hoping to get out the force. Fortunately, it doesn't really do anything against invincible targets. No air blast either, because you're running the Flog. It means that you can't really do anything. You just kind of forced to step there, just hold down your mouse one, hope somebody doesn't get flashed for a second. You can find a kill. Now, back onto middle, off classes are gone, Slayworld are back in it, and there's an early frag there on to Brady from the side of Fluoro. Now, walking forwards, the rest of Slayworld here have to deal with Salt Free going in, and they lose their medic. Snazzy though, Skaz taken down as a counter pick. It's just Wigan left, and he will be taken down. Monty, that final frag. Now, medic did go down for the side of Slayworld, right? Not the end of the world, but we're seeing once again these even Uber situations with Salt Free on last. No, Monty, there's no way. Guys, we're chilling, yeah? Good.
He gets up Desi in the end. So it wasn't all for nothing.
That's a tough fight, right? I mean, you go in, the scout is not spotted immediately by the soldier bombing forwards as well. Just trying to be cheeky, hide in a corner, maybe find some kind of a bigger frag. Only has to settle for the soldier. Not the end of the world, but yeah, now Monty up on the offensive heavy. I actually kind of like this. You send in the heavy through top right, in through rollout, and you kind of have him sit there and shoot down on the enemy players. The Uber is even. 10% advantage here for Snazzy, not the end of the world. You can just kind of get to super up. We're seeing time and time again, Slayworld are much better at playing these even Uber situations. They can kind of go in, try and get the early force, and then send in the heavy later. Just get the force with the heavy, right? You send him in on top. He does a lot of damage here, and he's a big boy. Very healthy.
Yeah, well, you know, as well, like the Slayworld, they can really just kind of park the bus on, you know, on the forward hold if they wanted to. There's really no reason for them to be doing anything too risky, but they still, you know, I love the enthusiasm. They still love taking these big fights, these big trades, and 3 down on the side of Salt Free Gaming. Some sizable cap time on the point, and it looks like that is game, ladies and gentlemen. The first map going to Slayworld, looking so strong. Wow.
Really had to play there for Slayworld, right? We saw Snakewater was a bit more back and forth. This time around, it is no holds barred. They do drop the singular round to the troll picks going into mid. Flog Pyro, sniper to mid on Reckon, does not work. Don't do it if you're doing it, you're trolling. We saw it quite quickly. The round was capitalized off for Salt Free, but really, honestly, you could see it in the logs as well, right? Look at Monty, look at Tourism, both of them had fantastic games, picking off the enemy. Tourism really playing super well on the flank of Fluoro as well. Big shoutouts to him. Such big mids, finding early kills, setting the rest of his team up for success, being able to roll off of those advantages. And yeah, that's Slayworld taking a big win.
I mean, look, overall, it was a very convincing game. Especially those mids, they knew how to collapse. Like, despite what happened, they played together, especially their soldiers. And, yeah, one thing though, obviously, Yon's 2 for 6, it doesn't really highlight it, but you can definitely tell the amount of, like, space it was creating and stuff, and especially Ben going in with 339 DPM. Obviously, Monty and Frag are both having amazing games. But overall, this was a really convincing win by the side of Slayworld. Very fast-paced as well. Obviously, the only, like, to be honest, this one round, like, this game itself, I'd consider just a 5-0. The one round, Salt Free 1 was pretty much a throwaway round that Slayworld decided to just do a bit of funny business. So realistically, I'd say 5-0 to Slayworld, and overall, very convincing win. And again, as we mentioned earlier, about the DM diff, you could definitely tell. I mean, these collapses, and especially the soldiers and scouts just going in, just causing chaos. But overall, very convincing win for the side of slayworld, and very convincing 2-0 as well. So what that means now is slayworld will be facing FMCL. So we've just been told there is also a forfeit win from one game, so I'm not too sure. Right, so Bossy Burger has forfeited their game against Exodia, so that shouldn't affect our bracket, if I'm mistaken. Is that correct? Right, okay, so therefore that means Bossy Burger will be playing Salt Free next, and then FMCL will be playing Slayworld. So I think, look, Slayworld now are facing the first seed, which is the favorite to definitely qualify. So I'd say good luck to them. But overall, I mean, a very convincing game.